Today, we're going to talk about a wedding videographer who wouldn't refund a groom's deposit after that groom lost his wife in a car accident. Today, we're going to talk about who's right, who's wrong, and how you should handle this situation if you ever find yourself in it. What's good? If this is your first time on this channel, we talk about the business side of the industry. If you want to talk a lot of camera gear or how to take better pictures, there are other channels for that. But when you're ready to get that bag, this is the channel you need to subscribe to, because we discuss all things business around content creation. Now, working in this industry, we always talk about the importance of understanding the business side. This is a case where it would have made a world of a difference. Watch this next clip.
Now the wedding that was canceled, not because of COVID-19, but because the bride tragically died in a car accident. Her fiancé tried to get a refund from the wedding videographer, who refused. That's when things got ugly.
They were set to get married this month, but tragedy struck when the bride-to-be, Alexis, lost her life in a car crash in February. Still grieving from his loss, Justin Montney went through the process of informing the wedding vendors and asking for refunds. All but one gave him his money back, the wedding videographer. Copper Stallion Media responded that the couple had signed a legally binding contract, which was non-refundable.
I kept emailing him and saying, like, hey, I would love just to talk on the phone, or like, hey, listen, like, you know, based on this contract, like, I just want to like work this out. You couldn't get a hold of them on the phone. And then they just stopped emailing me back and were just dodging me.
When Justin spoke out, the wedding videographer launched an extraordinary attack, creating a website whose sole purpose apparently was to mock Justin. Life is a blank, the website declared. Then came this shocking message posted on May 23rd. We hope you sob and cry all day for what would have been your wedding day. Sorry, not sorry. The videographer even sent this when Alexis Wyatt's mother added her voice to the request for a refund. Non-refundable means you cannot get your money back, even from the grave. What hurts you the most?
The way that he's defiling the memory of Alexis hurts the most.
According to reports, Copper Stallion Media appears to be owned by wedding videographer Jesse Clark. Clark calls himself an entrepreneur and claims to have studied at Harvard, MIT, and Yale. Clark, who was once reportedly convicted in an assault case, was sued in 2013 by the Massachusetts Attorney General for allegedly never delivering wedding videos to 150 newlyweds.
Up first, let's talk about what I think about the situation. Who's right, who's wrong, and why the situation just flat out sucks. But for those who are not in the industry, let me explain why retainers are usually not refunded. Now, notice I didn't call it a deposit. We'll get to that a little bit later. When you're in the wedding industry, weddings have seasons, and those seasons fill up fast if you're a wedding photographer or a videographer. So each weekend is of value. When you're taking somebody's deposit or retainer, you're saying, I will no longer shop this weekend. So somebody can't come along and say, hey, I know you got a wedding book for $2,000. I want to spend $3,000 to take that date. And that way you're not out of a photographer or a videographer at the last minute because somebody came in with more money. That retainer or a deposit is a commitment from both you, the customer, and I, that I would honor the date that we'd agreed on. And it's very important to not just protect the photographer, but to protect the client as well. The client knows for sure they have a photographer or a videographer booked, and the content creator can then take that weekend or day off the calendar. It is no longer available at any price. So it's important that we understand the purpose of this payment before we go down this long, slippery slope we're getting ready to go down. Now, ultimately, if the paperwork is right, it's at the discretion of the videographer or photographer. If the paperwork is right, a lot of people call these deposits, but here at FlashFilm Academy, We don't. We call them non-refundable retainers. In fact, we have one available over on the website that you can purchase individually, or you can buy it as a part of our ultimate contract pack. And there's a reason we call it a non-refundable retainer, because deposits traditionally are refundable. So if you call it a deposit and it get to court, just know you're going to have to pay that money back. But if it's a non-refundable retainer, then you won't. There's a big difference in clauses and how you word it to protect yourself. As the business owner, I always want to have the last word. I want to protect myself so I'm not in situations like this. Now, what he should have done is if he didn't want to return the deposit, he should have explained why. His lack of professionalism is why he made national news, not his lack of a refund. And I think it's important that we take note of this. This story is not designed to strong arm you out of your deposits if something happened to the bride and groom, but in my opinion, it's to make you aware of the paperwork, the legal paperwork that you provide to your client, as well as the type of customer service you provide. Here at FlashFilm Academy, we talk about the value of great customer service. In this situation, his lack of customer service is what made it more newsworthy. And your lack of customer service should never outshine the product that you're delivering. That is not how you want to do business. Because not only is his business name in the news article or story, so is his real name and face. Dude couldn't go out and get another video gig if he wanted to, even if he started a new company. Now, where he was wrong was he should not have antagonized his client by creating a website and posting messages about the client's situation. That is unprofessional.
Catch me outside, how about that?
It is beyond crossing the line. It is content creators like this that call themselves business owners that make it hard for people like you and I to make a living in this space. That is why providing world-class customer service is extremely valuable to the success of your business. You can't just have an expensive camera and treat people like crap. There is a reason we teach a lot of great customer service techniques on the inside of FlashFilm Academy. Now let's talk about how to prevent yourself from even being in this situation. First thing first, you need to have a non-refundable retainer, not a deposits. Deposits have been overturned in court over and over again, and you want the power to retain discretion in situations like this. You want to protect yourself and have the ability to say yes or no in these situations. Don't get me wrong, the situation is bad. It's a terrible, sad situation. And if you're in a position to refund it, then refund it. It's on you. But what happens if you're not? That retainer doesn't automatically go back to the client if you have your paperwork right. And again, every situation is different. It is at your discretion. But what you don't want to do is make the news because you're creating a website dissing your client. That is not professional. And as you can see in that video, that guy has a history of doing that. This is why we need to build our brand around great customer service, because these are the type of people that either potential clients are running into or at least hearing about on the news. This is why clients are so reluctant to hire content creators. And having a brand that is well thought out with websites and great communication will help clients overcome this fear. Now, what to do if you find yourself in this situation? Again, it's ultimately up to you on the refund. What I would suggest is some level of empathy in the way you provide customer service to the client in this time of his life. You may have to explain, hey, we took that date off the market. This is why we can't provide a refund. I'm sorry that you're going through this. I would be more than happy to edit maybe a slideshow or something for the services. I would love to use this deposit to help you in your time of need. Just explain to me how I can help you or something like that. You don't have to do it, but it's little things like that that may help you in the future when working with that client. It will definitely prevent you from being on national news for the wrong reasons. The market is saturated with a lot of content creators who don't understand the value of business, and they keep doing things like this to give us a bad name. My question to you is, have you ever ran into a situation like this? I I would love to hear about it in the comments. And if you have videos like these, send them to me. I would love to give you guys my opinion on it. In the meantime, as always, be inspired, be creative, be profitable. Go on over to FlashFilm Academy and check out that non-refundable retainer. Because if you're not using it, you could find yourself in this situation. I'll see y'all in the future.